If you're looking to make solar simple, give Ron Domenico with AD Energy a call. All-day energy made simple. Solar solutions with zero down, options to lease or finance, and roofs and trees are no issue. Call Ron Domenico at 609-226-2802 and tell him you saw him on the Sports Box.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the show that's never better than a box of Kleenex if you're a NASCAR driver. This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters. It's right here. I am Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hampton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, Ranger Todd. Brian, how are you?
So, I'm not a NASCAR guy.
I'm not either.
I don't. What's with the Kleenex in the NASCAR?
Because they always cry. They're always bitching. From Jeff Gordon and all those guys back in the day, they're always bitching. Anyway, they're always fighting in the pits.
That's whatever.
Anyway, all the NASCAR guys just turned off, so anyway, whatever. Sorry, Georgia. Anyway.
Have we done a NASCAR show yet?
No, we won't do a NASCAR show either. If I could ever talk NASCAR, I got problems.
That's an area for growth, man.
Yeah, well, we'll bring some guys on the show with no teeth. We'll Millville. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway.
Now that we've offended everybody, Mike, go ahead.
Now that we've lost half the subscribers we had.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to talk about a little bit of a topic today. Is it good for a league to have powerhouse teams go all the time? You know, you got an example of NHL. You got Pittsburgh going the last probably 3 or 4 years, going this far into the title. You got the Patriots going all the time in NFL. You have in basketball, really Cleveland and Golden State really competing. Now, we have brought up before, Brian, about big markets. Obviously, in the NHL, you have Pittsburgh playing Ottawa and Nashville playing Anaheim. Now, if you're the NHL, you obviously don't want Ottawa and Nashville because that would be a train wreck.
Not if you want someone to watch.
Right. If you're going to be a train wreck, you obviously want Pittsburgh and Anaheim because they're bigger markets. Anaheim might not be a big market, but at least there's more people out there watching the LA market.
Sure.
So, my question to you is, now, see, I guess I'm in the minority where I want it mixed up. I like teams that never get there, and it's different, and it's probably not good for ratings, but I just like parity in sports. I like it as a football league. You want to see the Ravens one year play the Bucs. You want to see this, and I don't want to see the Patriots every year. I don't want to see Seattle every year. I don't want to see Pittsburgh every year. I don't want to see the same teams every stinking year. But then again, that goes into your team needs to get better.
Well, I think if you look at the way sports are kind of structured these days, whether it's the way that they, assign their draft picks, they give the higher draft picks to the lower finishing teams.
Yep.
Salary caps are meant to even the playing field in between your larger markets versus your smaller markets. I think it depends on what those teams are, Mike. I'm going to tell you what. If the powerhouse teams in baseball, and I'm not taking any shots here, but I'm going to give you some examples. If the World Series every year was, the Milwaukee Brewers and like the Kansas City Royals.
But you do have the Yankees in it a lot of times.
But the Yankees are in it because the Yankees spend the money, right?
Yeah, and they're a good team.
But what I'm saying is, okay, but you have to have some interest in the sport, right? Mm-hmm. Because for the Yankees are, and even the Red Sox, I mean, your major teams are extremely polarizing. Mm-hmm. You have people that love the Yankees, hate the Yankees. The Dallas Cowboys. People love the Dallas Cowboys. People hate the Dallas Cowboys. But when they're good, it's better for the sport. I think back to the Yankee-Red Sox when the rivalry kind of reignited the first part of like 2000, 2003, 2004. That was great for baseball. Those ALCSs were just phenomenal baseball. For me, the thing about parity, right, and I think that the biggest thing about parity is the NFL, where if you're 9-7, oh my God, look what a great season you had. Right. I think it brings our expectations of success down. Mm-hmm. And the NFL is probably the hardest sport in which to maintain a really good team for a long period of time. If you got a quarterback and a coach, you're the Patriots, you got it.
So you didn't like the Indians going to the World Series last year?
I don't think it was really that relevant. And that's not a shot against Cleveland, it's just a smaller market.
Right.
At no point will a Yankees-Dodgers World Series or Mets-Red Sox, you get two big markets with a lot of fans and a lot of interest, you're going to get more people to watch.
But I also think on the flip side, the only way you become a big market is because you get your shot. Now, you look at Green Bay. Green Bay is not a huge city in the way of a market, but they are because Green Bay has been relevant the last 10, 15, 20 years. And I think that grows a market too. Is it ever going to be like LA? No, probably not. But to grow that market and make it a better market that it should be, and that's the expectation for all these teams, is you got to get to the dance. And is that their fault if they don't get there because they, look at the Cleveland Browns, for example. Right. I mean, that's not a big market in football because obviously it was back in the day, but it's not anymore because Cleveland can't get there. But you got teams like Minnesota and you got teams like, stuff like that. I don't know. I just like parity. Like I like to mix it up a little bit.
If the Florida Panthers won 3 straight cups, would they have a bigger fan base than the Montreal Canadiens?
3 straight cups?
3 in a row.
No, absolutely not. Because Montreal is a longer longevity team.
Exactly right. You're making my point for me. The reason that these powerhouse or these big markets are big markets is because think of the history of the country.
But I also think it would give Florida a better shot at getting a bigger. Are they ever going to get this big like Montreal is? No, they'll get this big where they were still this big.
But I think that what happens in Florida and why the Tampa Bay Rays have a lot of Yankee game sellouts is because you have transplants from the Northeast.
Well first of all, we're probably on the same page with Florida really shouldn't have hockey. I mean, there's teams in Florida that they draw now because they've been to the Cup a couple times. Florida hasn't been there. Tampa's won. Tampa draws. But in the way of taking the league out, and we're probably getting off topic here, but
it's all relative.
There's some guys like Arizona doesn't deserve a team. I don't think San Jose is that much of a draw there. They might draw a little bit, but there's teams in the South that really don't watch ice hockey. Just be honest with you. But to get back to your question, if Florida wins 3 titles, does it help them to beat Montreal? No, but it helps them go from here to here. Because then more people will watch the sport because, hey, look, Florida's winning. Wow, let me go to a game. Let me go check. That's the whole thing of parity. It spreads the league out. It makes the league fun.
But I think the league will never, Major League Baseball will never make more money than when the Yankees, Red Sox, Cubs, Mets, Dodgers win a World Series.
We're not big basketball fans, but we talked about it before. Every year it's Cleveland and Golden State.
But that's the thing. Now,
like you said, you do want the 2 big markets, Cleveland and San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, does that really get anybody? Like, there's nobody.
Then that's not good for the league.
Yeah, but the league overexpands.
Well, that too. You can say that.
But you put these teams. So I mean, hockey is a great example right now. The Nashville Predators are the best team nobody's talking about.
Absolutely,
they're a phenomenal team
because nobody cares about.
But they're in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nobody cares about hockey in Nashville, right?
It's not a shot against Nashville, Tennessee, but Nashville's not New York or Chicago.
And they're not a big. They're not a big Titans area either. So it's just. But it's just a sport area.
It's where these teams kind of go. Right. Powerhouses. All right. Basketball. Back to your point.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the rivalry is Cleveland and San Francisco, Golden State, San Francisco.
Correct.
Do you think that gets anywhere close to as much juice as Lakers Celtics did?
No, absolutely not.
Now, why is that?
Because they're bigger markets and they've been around a lot longer.
Am I boring you, Michael?
And when you have kids, you get no sleep.
Understand.
Anyway, but they've been around a lot longer. The rivalry's there from before, so you're talking about almost newer teams with like the Golden State Warriors. And things like that. I know what you're saying from that point, but I'm just saying to mix it up a little bit. In the beginning of the year, if you were going to tell me Cleveland and San Francisco or Cleveland and Golden State are going to the finals, I'd say you're probably right. And that just takes everybody out of the league and makes the league just non-existent until the playoffs come around. So that's my point. Is that good for the league? In basketball sense, no, it's not. Well, basketball needs some more teams in it to mix it up a little bit, make it interesting.
So basketball's kind of unique in that basketball of all the teams have the smallest roster.
Hockey's probably the same thing.
Not really. If you really think about it, I think the last team where free agents flocked to was the Avalanche when Paul Curry, Teemu Solani, but now Sakic and Forsberg were there already.
Patrick Waugh.
Now Waugh requested a trade because he had a falling out in Montreal.
Correct. But you're talking about loading up a team.
I'm talking about free agents.
Right, and Denver's not a big market for hockey. No. Colorado's terrible this year, so they're not a big market.
But you look at teams, I think basketball more than anything is guys conglomerate onto a team to go win a championship. And I think above all, that's what happens the most. Because really, salaries in basketball are kind of like, they're kind of standardized. You have your max contracts, second, third.
Right.
Whereas if the Yankees decide to pay Bryce Harper $50 million a year,
they don't care about the luxury taxes.
No, they don't. But what I'm saying is, there's a max contract in the NBA that every team can offer.
But you can also get creative and do it different ways and things like that.
But still max money.
Correct.
Baseball, for example, again, if they want to give Bryce Harper $50 million, that's their prerogative. Do I think it's smart? Probably not, but that's what they want to do. Is what they want to do.
Right.
It's the hard cap the hard cap creates more parity. But I don't know if that's good for the league because then you have teams. The worst that could happen to the NHL, again, humor me here. I understand I'm in the hat and the shirt that I'm wearing. If the Rangers were to go into a 10-year prolonged downturn because of salary cap mistakes, is that good for the NHL?
No.
No, it's not. No. It's great for and think about the chief rivals of the Rangers are the New Jersey Devils and the New York Islanders.
And I think the NHL's in trouble this year because if Pittsburgh and Nashville go, I mean, you might get the Pittsburgh market to watch. That's a bad example. If Ottawa and Nashville play, it's going to be trouble.
But Pittsburgh has become a national team because of the stars that they've had.
Yeah.
And that's because they were bad for a while. That wasn't the NHL didn't really push stars there. It just kind of happened that way.
No.
And they've done really well with managing the team.
Yeah.
I think you can see both sides of it. For me, I'm not a parity guy. I want to see good athletic competition. I want to see a good game. I don't want to see The NFL's the worst. The NFL, it's who can make the least number of mind-numbing errors is going to win a game.
Yeah.
It's not about how, look at that great play. Quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. The quarterbacks we think are like average and good suck.
Yeah.
Take it back 10 years, they suck. That's why Brady and Manning, when he played, and some of these guys, Aaron Rodgers, like when they're really good, man, are they really good? Because it's so much harder to be good at that position anymore.
I agree. We could settle it real simple. You guys could write in and let us know if
we'd love to hear from you.
You think we're crazy, or do you think it's good for the same team in my eyes to go every year? The powerhouses of each league, is that good for the league, or does that just make the league boring to you? Let us know. Are you taking Brian's side where parity, whatever, you want the the big market teams to go? So let us know. Give us a holler. Remember, you can always get us on social media if you need to.
Of course, Twitter and Facebook, you know it by now. It's at Sportsbox Show. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and on Facebook. But of course, if nothing else, make sure you join the ever-growing number of subscribers to the Sportsbox. We thank everyone for their support. Can't thank you guys enough. We're going to keep bringing it to you, bringing you great content because we appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, at the Sportsbox, well, first of all, we love to hear from you. So please write in. Let us know what's going on. Remember, at the Sportsbox, the only opinion that matters is absolutely right here. Thanks for watching. See you.
This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.